From Las Vegas, Sandy Kastel and friends.
Here is Sandy Kastel.
Good morning and welcome to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show with Chef Michael. I know I sent Chef Michael back down to the car because I forgot my phone. And you know, we have to have our phone nowadays in the radio station because you know what? Everybody contacts us while we're on the show and we need to let people know. So anyway, I want to just say I'm really looking forward to our WEMA New Year makeover that's coming up on January the 17th. Now, that's a Saturday, folks, and that is 3 to 6 p.m., and it's over at the Underground Revolution, which is over at Hualapai and Flamingo. Great opportunity to start the new year outright with a new style, new makeup, and a new photo. So give us a call. Check us out over at 742, what's that number? 702-348-5707 is my number. So you can always call me and I'll give you the information. However, you can go to our website and also to our Facebook page, which is Sandy Kastel and Friends, and where it's posted right there. And the WEMA site, which is Women and Men in Music and Arts. Actually, I think it still says Women in Music and Arts there. Hi, Chef Michael. How are you doing? Poor Chef Michael. He's been around too many sick people this week, and guess what happened? That's right. He got it. Aww. Yeah, so last night, poor baby, he wasn't feeling very good. He had Vicks all over him. Vicks, and he took the NyQuil.
Robert Crawford.
Who's Robert Crawford?
Robert Crawford.
Broderick.
He was a great actor. As you sound like this. That's what I mean. You know what I mean? That's what I say. I gotta get in the car. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's how I used to sound, this guy.
You sure that wasn't Edward G. Robinson?
No, Robinson was, same. I know you're
saying. They kind of sound familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, of course, if you go to the Smith Center for the Performing Arts website, you will see for February the 26th, we are performing with Jimmy Mulador and his New York City Jazz Band, Jazz for the Ages, a celebration of jazz legends. Come and celebrate Jimmy's return to the Smith Center Cabaret Jazz Room, February 26, 2015, at 7 p.m. Call 702-749-2012. That's 702-749-2012 to buy your tickets. The tickets are $35 and $45. Of course, if you want to be on the main floor, I think it's $45. So this is going to be featuring trumpet virtuoso Gilbert Castellanos. Michael, do you know Gilbert?
Oh, he was with Al Hirt and Maynard Ferguson. He's one of the greatest.
He was. And pianist Ron Fuhrer, bassist Frank Fabio, drummer Santo Savino, we know Santo, that's right, we've performed with him a lot, vocalist Paris Red, Sandy Kastel, myself, and Michael Leonetti, otherwise known as Chef Michael.
Thank you.
It's funny, everywhere you go, we went to Smith's the other night, and I heard the girl at the counter as you were walking up to the counter, and she said, Chef Michael!
Yeah, that's what they know me as. Isn't that amazing? After all my years of entertainment in Las Vegas, you become a character and then you become Chef.
Well, yeah, but Michael, there's a lot of musicians out there that can't cook like you do.
They can't. They can't.
Underground Revolution is 702-527-7422. That's 527-7422. So give them a call to make your reservation to get your WEMA New Year's makeover for 2015. Now, there's only 20 spots left, folks. I mean, that they can do that day between the hours of 3 and 6. So give them a call right away if you want to get in there. It's 527-7422. It's only $50 for the makeover and photo shoot. So it should be a lot of fun. And the regular admission is $35. And for cosmetology students who are studying right now, going to school, you have an opportunity to win a $500 scholarship from WEMA. Also, a $500 advanced scholarship from Underground Revolution. So be sure and check this out. And you have to be present to win, but it's only $10 at the door for cosmetology students. So be sure to call them at 702-527-7422. Go to our website at Facebook at, let's see, what do we have that on? We have that on the Sandy Kastel and Friends, I believe. Yes. So, Chef Michael.
Last night I was watching AMC, and the George Gershwin story came on with Alan Alda. Now, Alan Alda was the father of the guy who played in MASH. you know, what would they call it? The kid that played at MASH, the head guy.
The kid that Alda.
Yeah. Father, that was his father.
Yeah.
His father played the Gershwin story. And, you know, I got to tell you, he died very young. George Gershwin. And Ira Gershwin was the guy with the words. But Gershwin did Rhapsody in Blue, which till this very day, he brought the change of jazz, talking about jazz, those days. And they said, you're going to be laughed out, you know, those guys in the penguin suits are going to laugh you right out of the Carnegie Hall. Because, you know, and I'll tell you who else did that, Sandy.
Who?
Was Benny Goodman. When Benny Goodman played at Carnegie Hall, they did symphonies. And they says, this guy ain't going to make it. And that's when Benny did Sing, Sing, Sing with Gene Krupa, and that was the turn in the 40s.
Sing, Sing, Sing?
Well, the song Sing, Sing, Sing. You know, that was the turn in the future, you know, where music made a change because they took the jazz to sophistication. And then in France, in Paris till this very day is pretty heavy when it comes to jazz, you know.
Oh, yeah.
So it's, like I said, it's a lot of fun. And one thing about us, Sandy, I got to tell you, and I want to say this publicly because we always got 100 to 150 people no matter where we go. I don't care. I don't care if we play at Sienna's. I don't care if we play at the Tuscany or Joe's Bar and Grill in Henderson. It don't make any difference. These people always come out for us, you know, and it's a blessing to have a draw like that for people to come and see us, and we get it every day. Mike, when are you going to perform again? When are you know? And like I said, we did a great run, but this year, like I said, we got the television that we're concentrating on, you know, the nightclub that we want to buy, you know, and once things get settled, then we can at least do one day a week.
Does anything ever get settled? It feels like we're in constant motion, Michael, at least this last year and a half. And you're right. I think once we find our home in a supper club, I think that'll be nice for us because it'll give us an opportunity to have bands come and perform, have entertainers there, have poets if we want a poet night, country singers if we want a country night, jazz, cabaret, whatever we want to do. And then we can do our WEMA events there. We can film TV shows there. We can do a lot of stuff there.
Yeah, you're right. Because
just got to find the right spot.
Because I was looking at the lineup for the Smith Center, and you got Burt Bacharach.
Oh, yeah.
You got Jackie Yavanko. You got Engelbert Humperdinck. They're not on the Strip, ladies and gentlemen. They're not on the Strip.
No,
they're not at Caesars. They're not at this. Well, I was ready to say the Sahara, SLS. They got all these Blue Man Group. They got all these search shows.
It's changed. Yeah.
So if there was a venue for these people, ladies and gentlemen, they would be at the major hotels. They're not. They're at the Smith Center. So Engelbert Humperdinck, who's like got a slew of hit records, one of the greatest singers with Tom Jones. The guy's a legend. This kid's got to go sing at the Smith Center because there's no venue any place else.
Yeah, it's just Vegas has changed. You know who else is playing with Clint Holmes this coming month?
Who's that?
In February, and I definitely would love to go. It's Frank Wildhorn. You know
Frank Wildhorn.
Do you know who Frank Wildhorn is?
He was the great guy.
You don't know who he is.
Whose grandfather made the tuba.
I know Michael doesn't know who he is because why? Because he's a playwright, and Michael does not know any playwrights. He knows a lot of musicians, but Frank Wildhorn is a great playwright. He's written tons of plays, and he's going to be performing with Clint Holmes on February, and that's going to be like a Halloween thing.
He's doing poetry while that kid's singing?
No, he plays. He plays piano.
Oh.
He writes music, songs, and let's see, the Jekyll and Hyde. He wrote Jekyll and Hyde, you know, the musical, and he did one about Bonnie and Clyde. I can't remember all the names. There's all these different plays that he's worked, and you know who introduced me to him was Tom.
Thumb.
Tom. Oh my gosh. Tom, where's his last name?
Tom Mamaluke from Jersey City.
Funny, sometimes names
Tommy the Wrench
slip away from you. Not Tom Mazzetta. But
Tommy Powers.
Anyway, Tom used to be. He used to be Clint Holmes' producer. For about 4 years he was producing Clint Holmes, raising money. You know, all those shows when Clint Holmes was doing when he did the first Inception, I think, with and when he did it over at UNLV, and he had his. I think it was called The Man or something. You know. Me the Man or I'm the Man or something. And that was the first show that he did over there of his play, his musical that he wanted to take to Broadway. And, so anyway, that's how
I
I met
think that
Greg
Jimmy
Wilder.
Kimball, I got to give him a call.
Jimmy Kimball.
Yeah, I got to get Kimball, and I got to tell him you need to come to Vegas, and you need, he's got a 5-day show, national television. He should come to Vegas.
From Vegas.
Is he from the Kid?
Who is? Kimball? Oh, Jim.
And he needs to come here and
And
promote.
be on our show.
Yeah, but not beside that. But to try to get like a Jimmy Mellodore to perform national television, a Clint Holmes to get out there.
Well,
Because what happens is these people, if they don't have a hit record or a movie, they become forgotten. You know what I mean? They become
That's tough on me.
behind the curtain, and they wind up doing lounges and other stuff. Because for you to stay out there in the limelight, you gotta have a show, you gotta have a hit record, you got to have something on that line. Joey Heatherton remember Joey Heatherton? Sandy?
Yes, I do.
She was a great, and Lola Falana, ladies and gentlemen, was a great performer.
Lola, she played here.
Yeah, but she
Oh,
never had a
she's
hit.
Lola.
She never had a hit record. Because I
No.
was telling somebody yesterday.
I don't think Anne Margaret did either, did she?
No, but
She
was
had
in
albums.
movies. She had
but
albums.
she was in. She was with Elvis and stuff, and she was in movies, and she sang, and she sang, but she was like a dancer and performer
Well,
who sang.
We were talking, and I was saying, something, Elvis Presley, if the kid never sang another note, he was a movie star. Frank Sinatra was a movie star.
Yeah.
All right. Whitney Houston was a movie star. Barbara Streisand, a movie star. These people
Musical.
They didn't have to sing a note.
You're right, and she does great.
Tony Bennett never made it in movies. He tried a few. Wayne Newton never made it in movies. Sammy Davis, he did a few. You understand?
Yeah.
But nothing where you would
certain
really
roles,
get,
right.
like Sinatra won the Academy Award from Here to Eternity.
Yeah.
So it showed a side. That's why,
Talented. Yeah.
What you saying, that's what I'm saying on the television show. A lot of people don't know that Sandy Kastel is a tremendous sculptress, which is great. I mean, people don't realize, that depth of talent, just like me, like with the cooking.
Well, Anthony Quinn.
Quinn was a great painter.
he was a sculptor too.
Was he really?
Yeah, he sculpted in stone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, and there's a lot of great talent that's out there, and that's why one of the things that we like to do with our television show, because we shooting every Monday, we shoot the show on Monday.
Tony Curtis.
Yeah, do you know what Tony Curtis's real name was?
I know you know.
Bernard Swartz.
Bernard.
Bernard Swartz. That was his name.
Bernard, come
Bernard
here.
Swartz.
Can you imagine?
And they
Hey,
changed
Bernard.
it to Tony Curtis.
Tony Curtis. Hey, Tony.
He was Jewish. He was a good-looking kid. Eddie Fisher was handsome
was
when he was
Jewish?
young. Yep, and Steve Lawrence
But he looked kind of Italian.
was it. He was Jewish, and he was. I'm telling you something. Tony Curtis.
Actually, he looks all American.
That kid was handsome all his life, even when he lost all his hair. You know what I mean? He went bald. Towards the end.
He did?
Tony, yeah.
Oh my gosh, look what time it is, Michael.
Why?
Oh my gosh, if you're just tuning in now,
Oh,
you're listening to
Christ.
Sandy Kastel and Friends for a Variety
I
Show
hate
with
this.
Chef Michael. We have to hear a little bit from our sponsors.
Yeah,
we'll
we
be
love
right
you.
back.
Alex Yanko, what are you doing, buddy? Yeah.
More interviews, more recipes, more fun. This is Sandy Kastel and Friends. Here again, your host, Sandy Kastel.
Welcome back to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show with Chef Michael. I got a kick out of those guys. It's Chef Michael. I got a text from Diana Pascal. She says, having a cup of coffee and might fall back to sleep. Perry opened the box with the Bombay chest glasses and Airtay in it. Oh my gosh, they got some big packages from San Francisco. They're excited. Anyway, she says, have fun with the show and we will see you at noon. Yeah, we're all getting together to go to lunch, except for Chef Michael because he has to work.
Yeah,
Sorry,
what else is
Chef
new?
Michael. Anyway, also, so hi, Dr. Perry. Hi, hi, Diana Pascal.
Yeah.
And then we also have Anita Marie Baca. She said it would have been Elvis's 80th birthday yesterday. Isn't that weird?
In a way,
that kinda weird?
Yeah, in a way, these people
you
that
imagine
died
him at
young,
80 years
like
old?
Marilyn Monroe, we have a certain image. Like Sinatra would have been 100 years old. We have a certain image of Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra.
When they were young.
When they were young, we have those images in our
prime.
mind. And sometimes, in a way, to see people grow old, it's hard. It's hard to see that for somebody to get up there that was once a giant, and they lose. You know, like when I watched the movie a couple of weeks ago when Rocky Marciano got in the ring with Joe Louis, and he knocked Joe Louis through the ropes. And Marciano, when they turned around and they interviewed him, he put his head down. He said, you know, I hit him with a right hook. I mean, you know, and he felt really bad. Because Joe was on his way out. He was up in years. Joe Louis. And that's why there's some people out there, and I'll say this again, some people need to step out of the ring. They want to stay in front of the camera. They have no talent. They can't sing. They can't dance. They're horrible.
Well, you know,
and it's sad. They need to stay behind the camera, and whatever knowledge you have, give it to somebody else. Give it to a nice young person that's out there that you could really train. There'll be a day that I won't be able to do what I'm doing anymore, Sam. I won't be able to have that energy. As long as I do it right now, I'll whip someone's ass. I got the talent. I got the strength. It's there. But there'll be a day, Sam, when I'm going to say, you know, sweetheart, time for me to step out of the ring. It's over now, you know?
Well, there's phases in our lives. And, you know, a long time ago, I remember I was studying a little psychology, believe it or not. And also I studied astrology, which is very interesting because there's a lot of correlations in the times and in the cycles of life, you know, between psychology and there's cycles through astrology. And, you know, it's interesting because there are certain cycles as we go through life. As we're young, we're growing, we're learning, we're getting an education, we go out there, we work in the workforce, and then there's a time at some point where we turn around and we start teaching. You know, some people do. And then some people transition well as they age, and some people do not. You know, especially, they say that people that start out that are really given accolades for their looks, you know, have a tougher time transitioning as they age because they look at themselves a certain way and they think that they have to have a certain image. But you know, there were actresses and actors, and it was harder of course, for actresses to age in front of the camera because there was this thing about, oh, well, you know, now you're not the ingenue anymore. So, but you know, Angela Lansbury continued a career, and what she did is she was a beautiful dancer, singer, whatever. She performed in shows, in the theater, in films, and then but as she aged, and she came back and she had this new character, you know, and she created this whole new character for herself, and people watched her age. Audrey Hepburn, you know, was a beauty until she, you know, was gone, and you know, but she never touched herself, you know, she never changed herself, her facial features or anything like that. She just allowed herself to grow, age gracefully, and men, you know, have you know, even men will have a tough time with it too. So, and sometimes if they get into a role or they're typecast in a role, sometimes they have a tough time transitioning. Even actors. Remember all the Star Trek characters because they got pegged as, you know, just the Star Trek characters. It was hard for them to transition and go into other films and stuff. Leroy Neiman, I mean, talked about that.
You know, I was Leroy
Nimoy. Sorry, Leonard Nimoy. Sorry.
Talking about
sorry, Gigi. I wasn't talking about Leroy. Anyway,
talking about Fit and Fabulous.
But yeah, talking about Fit and Fabulous.
See, I know I guess. Might say that should get right in there.
Go ahead.
You know, I was years ago. There was a guy. I was in my 40s, my early 40s. I was like 39, 40 years old. And this guy, and I was at the Kook and Dutch. It was a restaurant.
So Kook and Dutch.
That's what it was called. It's now the Bear restaurant.
Oh, the Bear restaurant over there. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was called the Kook and Dutch.
That's a neat restaurant. You know, we should go there and have breakfast. We forget, or lunch.
Yeah, you're right.
Or dinner.
So I says, this guy walks in, and he had to be in his, I'd say, early 70s.
Oh, was that the guy with the hat?
This guy was he didn't have a head full of hair. He had hair like mine, white, and he had a black hat, and he had a black silk suit. And I looked at this guy, and as a man, how I complimented, I couldn't take my eyes off this guy. I said, well, I'm handsome. God bless this old guy. And I walked up to him, and I said, I got to tell you something. You look great. You look terrific. I'm telling you, you look handsome. You look good. And he looked at me. He said, when I was young, I was handsome. He said, I'm an old man today. No, you look great. The guy just looked. I said, I hope I look as good as you when I'm your age. He says, hang in there, kid. You will. Now I'm that age, and people do that to me now. They'll look at me and say, boy, I go, nah, I'm an old man. I lost my hair. You know, all that bullshit. So, but the bottom line is that, and now I said the S word, and now he ran over the cub. I can say crap. I can't say shh. How about if I say you're full of SHI? Once I get to know you, I can add the T.
But you know what? Yeah, and so that's what Fit and Fabulous is all about. You're right, Michael.
It is.
Because
it's like
we're going to age, and we want to be happy and content at whatever age, shape, and size we are. And for everybody, that's something different. And don't forget, also, we have our background that is our cultural background that has a lot to do with our body shapes. And then we have a heredity that, hands down our what our bodies are going to do. But also we can do things for ourselves to keep ourselves in good shape. We had some juice this morning. I made carrots.
Well,
I put carrots in, I put spinach in, and I put celery in. And, it's like I really want to start doing some more of that. I like juicing. I haven't done it as diligently as Stephanie Wynn, who is doing an intense cleanse for the next 90 days. She said she is going to go through every single system in the body. I guess there's something like, I don't know, so many systems in the body. I don't know about that. I'm going to have to learn about that. See, there is something that I don't know about.
They crack me up, these kids. I got
she's petite to begin with.
Yes, she is.
But she's doing it
she's
because
2 feet tall.
She says, she wants to clean out her liver and her kidneys and
Is
stuff.
that right?
Yeah.
I got to tell you who Sandy took after.
Who?
Dick Kastel. My father-in-law is 85 years old.
Well, I took after both my parents.
And he's still a handsome guy, good-looking guy. He really is, ladies and gentlemen. He's 85 years old, and and again, like everybody knows, he lost Joanne 7 days before Christmas of last year, and we came to the New Year's Day event. He had a gray jacket on. I said, "Pop, you look very handsome. You look real," and he did. You know what I'm trying to say to you, which is nice, and that's who Sandy. Because everybody compliments Sandy. Oh, how beautiful Sandy is! How pretty she is! Which is nice. You know what I'm trying to say to you?
That's very nice. Thank you.
And again, that's why Sandy tries so hard to out there. And ladies and gentlemen, when you watch our television show with the Fit and Fabulous, there's a reason for that. She really takes pride. And anybody's over the age of 55 years old, all you women over the age of 55, you're looking in the mirror, you went from a size 2 to a size 12. Listen to me. Follow her show. She's got great ideas. There's some great tips that are there. The cooking, like I say, what I do, right, it's not the healthiest in the world, but I use the most simplest recipes in the world. Salt, pepper, parsley, garlic. I make it so interesting, everybody could cook like that.
That's right.
Everybody.
Lisa Grasso, look at that she did the New Year's Eve party.
She did great.
And she made the pasta al grasso. It was amazing.
Right.
She made the beef, the roasted beef. Is that what she made it, the roast beef?
She said, I did my little turn. I said, what do you mean? I added something. What'd you add, Lisa? She said, bell peppers. I said, you could do that.
She added bell peppers to what?
To the roast beef. You could do that.
Oh, it was good. Well, anyway, it was really great. And Lisa, I got to tell you, you do look fit and fabulous.
Do they still listen to us?
Of course they do.
You sure? Because
they're
in bed at
they watch after golf.
8 o'clock at night. They're in bed. And each year goes by. Carl's up in years. He's 79 years old. And what happens is he's at that age now where he'll be in bed. He'll be in bed like at 2 in the afternoon.
Now, when you get up and play, Michael, when you played 18 holes of golf. I mean, we were just going out and playing 9 holes. But when you play 18 holes of golf, it wears you out. And so that's why, because Carl gets up every day and goes and plays golf. Well, and he also works out a couple hours every day.
Yes, he does. So, and that's a nice.
And being physical like that, it's good because it works off those endorphins. It builds up your energy and it helps you stay fit and fabulous forever. And it also makes you tired so that you can sleep at night. Do you know there's a lot of people who have a hard time sleeping, but if they will exercise during the day, that will help them sleep better at night. Did you know that?
No, it's true because if you get out there, and like I said, for the people that are retired,
physical exercise,
that are retired, like you take Alex Yanko for instance, right? Alex Yanko, our buddy, he's just a kid. He's in his 40s. He came in the house one day and I looked at his eyes. I said, "Hey kid, what's the matter?" He said, "Mike, I'm beat." And you can just see it in his eyes how tired the kid was. Yeah. Because when you start building, Alex is the only guy that I know that will pick up a hammer. And he'll get right in with his boys. He just doesn't throw orders around. This guy, and I'm telling you, folks, if you're ready to do something, you're ready to turn around and do a remodel, the guy ain't going to charge you a dime. Get an estimate before you go crazy and say, $90,000. Oh, that's a good deal. I'll do it. Get a second opinion, folks.
It's always good to get a second opinion.
Get a second opinion. I'm telling you, this kid ain't no joke. Who we got on the line?
We got Anita Marie. Hi, Anita. How are you?
Hello there, Sandy and Chef Michael. How are you today?
Good.
Hi,
Good
Anita
morning.
Marie.
So you told us it was Elvis's 80th birthday yesterday. If he would have been alive, of course.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. And what's going on at the cannery?
Well, they're doing a huge, 3-day tribute. I think they're having his background dancers on Sunday. They're doing a couple of nights tonight at 7 p.m. and Saturday as well, where they're having some of his background singers and vocalists and band members are going to be there, and someone's going to do a narrative of his life story and all that good stuff in tribute to him.
Isn't that interesting how, you know, what I find interesting, you know, while you're mentioning that, is that how people that worked with somebody, you know, are still making a living off of the name. Because they worked, you know, I mean, seriously, because, you know, you have a lot of people that worked with, you know, like you said, that worked with Elvis. You've got musicians, dancers, singers, and that will always be with them. That's going to always be on their resume, you know, that they have that history working with Elvis, you know.
I think we just saw something, a little report on him where I think his bass player or something. It was his drummer for the last 37. Oh yeah, it was his drummer, and he said at the time when he would go into the spirituals and carry the concerts on forever and ever, unending hours, they would get really tired and think, "Gosh, can we end this thing now?" He said, and ever since he's been gone, they only wish they could be there again to do it all over again.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
know,
that's for sure.
You know?
I know, that's right.
Jimmy Melodor.
Yes, right. That's
He
who it
played
was.
with him the flute, you know, on the trilogy. Jimmy was with him for a long time.
Yeah.
You know, and Jimmy was telling a story to our television show where Elvis's boys would like shoot water guns at Jimmy to try to make him
While he's
not
playing
miss
that
the
flute
note while he's
solo.
playing the flute.
Yeah.
You know, which is really great.
Beautiful. The flute is
Right.
gorgeous. I think it was Scotty Mahler, who was the one who actually, Scotty Moore was his guitar player. He was the one that was in tears just talking about it on the TV the other day.
Really?
Oh,
Well, Joe Gershio was he conducted for Elvis for a long time. He went on a road with Elvis.
I mean, I'm saying that they're icons and legends, you know, and there's something to be said about, like you said, aging gracefully, you know, and literally walking into that second phase of life, enjoying who you are right where you're at, like you two beautiful people. Chef Michael, how do you expect us to be lean and fit if you're feeding us so well?
Well, we have to do it in moderation. Anita.
Right.
You know, we have to do it in moderation.
You have to do it in moderation.
Anyway, but, well, thank you for calling in with that tidbit, Anita, and letting us know, because I didn't know. I
80
wasn't
years
paying
old.
attention. So,
80 years old.
I wonder what
Yeah.
he would have looked like, the kid.
Yesterday.
yeah, well, hopefully
Well,
he
he
would
would
have
have looked
still
like
looked
he was
good.
in his
I don't
movie.
know. He'd gained a lot of weight there for a while. You know.
Well, he was
Yeah,
sick, you
I
know, with medication.
Grow your sideburns, Chef.
Me, I lost my hair. I look for it. I put an ad
I
in the
try
paper.
to get him, you know, a little bit longer each time, but he keeps trimming them up. So,
You'll
anyway.
be fine.
Thank
Yeah.
you, sweetheart.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for
I'll give you a
calling.
call later, Anita. Okay?
That's great.
Thanks a
That's
lot.
it. Thanks, Anita.
Okay, have a great day.
See you.
Okay, you too. Bye-bye.
Anyway,
Bye.
Anita's listening. See how nice everybody gets up in the morning and they turn on KLAV radio 12:30 in the AM dial and they say,
It's because of Ryan.
yeah, Ryan
You know,
Silva.
I have to admit, you know, when Ryan did those special half hours for us, that was really nice. Thank you, Ryan. You did a great job. And
Yes.
I mean, really, you know, you really have a knack for it. It might be something you want to explore a little bit, you know, if you want to get in front of the camera instead of behind the camera. Anyway, and he's cute too. And he has a story to tell. You know, Ryan, you lost a lot of weight. You know, you made a major difference. Speaking of Fit and Fabulous Forever, and what was the impetus that got you to make a difference in your life?
I think it was when I started to top out the scale when I was 19. I was
19.
about 220 when I was 19.
Wow.
Yeah, and I am not a very tall man, so people thinking, well, 220 can swing if you're like 6'3", 6'4".
Did this happen like all of a sudden, or was it something that just gradually, as you were growing as a kid, or was it kind of like?
Well, I was always a big kid, so I think it's just something that I grew into. I mean, I was kind of, sort of skinny for a little bit of middle school, but it's something that I've always dealt with.
So what was your waist?
My waist, I believe I was a 42.
42.
Yeah,
And
and
now you're like a 32, right?
Yeah, about that. So
Yeah.
yeah, I was like a little basketball. I was short and fat, so
Yeah.
almost perfectly round.
Well, so was there? Do you feel that there was something emotional that was going on in your life at that time? That were you eating a lot because of a certain emotional thing? You
Yeah,
were
I
going
think
through?
like a lot of people, I would have a little snack if I was ever feeling bummed out or something like that. And that's where I think a lot of the danger comes in, because there's people that just try to fill the void with food.
Right.
I mean, people fill the void with anything. They'll fill it with booze. They'll fill it with drugs. They'll fill it with any kind of vice.
Well, people can actually OD on exercise too, Ryan.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have known people that, women especially, and what happens, like runners, they can run so much that they can affect their cycle as a female, And so there was a big danger in that. I mean, back in, I don't know, it was the 80s or the 90s when everybody was out there, jogging.
Like the gym fix.
And they did a big thing on that. So you can definitely be a workout junkie too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And it's called obsessive compulsive behavior.
Especially with bodybuilders, that's something very dangerous. There was a young guy named Ziz. He dropped dead at 22 because of a heart defect that he had, and he just would not stop working out.
Oh.
Just worked out until his heart basically ripped out of his chest.
Oh, my.
I mean, not literally, but I mean...
He pumped it over.
Yeah.
Worked his heart. See, so it's about balancing things out. So staying fit and fabulous is about balancing your diet, having Chef Michael's food once a week, and enjoying it is wonderful. If throughout the week, or even a couple times, but if you're out, throughout the rest of the week, that you're incorporating a lot of good eating habits.
That's correct.
Obviously getting a lot of vegetables. I think mostly what we've, it seems that I've noticed a lot of what's dropped out of people's diets is getting enough vegetables, raw vegetables, salads and things like that. And, they've gone for all the more of the processed foods, the starches, more starches in our diets instead of the fresh vegetables. So incorporating more fresh vegetables and fruits and having a balance of protein, they say about 6 ounces. But, Stephanie was telling me, I always had that rule of thumb. They say your palm is supposed to be about a 6-ounce piece of chicken or beef or something like that. But I think for fish, it's different because, fish is lighter. So maybe it's not as hard as much. So you can have a bigger piece of fish because it's lighter.
America is funny because America gorges themselves.
They're always asking you when you go to get something, do you want to supersize it?
Right.
No, I just want the regular amount.
Right. America, seriously, they gorge themselves. I mean, you go to a buffet and people eat till they explode. I mean, seriously, they just keep eating and eating. And you go to some of the stores, and like you said, you look at the cheeseburgers, the hamburgers. And it's funny because when I went with Diana Pascal and Dr. Perry, and they took us to dinner that night, and they put the steak in the dish, I looked, I said, the frig is this? I said, there's nothing in this dish. But I got to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, when I got done eating, I was full.
You were full. You know that it takes 15 minutes for you, actually, for your stomach to, or for your body to know, I guess, or for it to register that you are full. So that another thing I learned back in 1974 when I was traveling on the road with the band. I was traveling on the road with the band, and I wanted to lose 5 pounds. It was kind of funny. There was 5 pounds that I wanted to lose that I hadn't been able to lose. And so I read this book. It was Linda Clark, and it was a health book, and I learned a lot of things. And sometimes it's the simplest little thing that we put into our brain that can help us. First of all, it was chewing each bite 100 times. Do you know how hard it is? Do you know how hard it is to chew a bite?
Forget about it.
5 times. 100 times. Who do we have on the phone?
Steve. Hey,
okay,
buddy.
well, I'll continue that after we get Steve.
Hi,
Steve. How are you?
Hello, how are you guys doing?
Good. How you been? We miss you.
I miss you guys too. I listen every day, and I want to tell you something. You bring a lot of inspiration to my day. This is like a routine. I got a radio in every room in the house now because of you. You know that?
That's good. Well, pretty soon you'll have an antenna at your house.
Really, Michael's jokes and recipes and all your good wisdom too. You both contribute a lot. About health, I want to throw something in, Sandy. May I?
Okay. Yes, go ahead, Steve.
Yams have 8 times the amount of vitamin C. I eat yams. I love them. And you don't even have to add any sugar or any junk on them. They're so good. I just microwave them for like 6 minutes. But they're very, very high in vitamin C. And with so many people being sick with colds, flu, you almost can't get enough vitamin C because, if you have too much, you'll excrete it. But it's always better to get your vitamins in a natural form, like an orange or a yam or something, than taking supplements. Supplements are good too, but I always believe it's better to get it in a natural form. How do you feel about that?
You're right, Steve. You said something very important. You said if you get too much vitamin C, you'll excrete it, and that's true. My acupuncturist years ago, I used to go up to see my dad up in when he lived up in Lake Tahoe. Well, it was Lake Tahoe, it was Reno. But every time for a period of time, I would go up there and I would get strep throat.
Oh.
Strep throat. I did a couple of years in a row, and I mentioned that to my acupuncturist, and I was going to go see my dad, and he said, "Okay, this is what I want you to do: get buffered vitamin C."
Buffered, okay.
Buffered. It's and take a quarter of a teaspoon, which is 1,000 milligrams, every hour, with a glass of water, a full glass of 8 ounces of water, every hour for 5 hours. And he said, now, if you start to get diarrhea, they said back off.
Yep.
Now, the thing of it is what happens is, yes, you will excrete it every hour. It's going to flush, but what it's doing is it's flushing through your system, so you're getting it into your system.
Right. And the water helps too, Sandy.
That's right.
You know something
and
too?
then it flushes out of your system. But if you're doing this for 5 hours in a row, and that's why, I tried to get Michael to do it. He did some yesterday, Did
it help him at all? Michael, did it help you?
Well, he just took, I think, 1,000 milligrams. But that's good. At least it's something. And also he drank orange juice. But I told him, I said, you can't get enough vitamin C out of oranges without your tongue breaking out.
Right.
Really.
Exactly. I'll tell you an old Italian remedy for colds. It's a little brutal, but it works. Take a couple of cloves of garlic, you cut it up. Take a cup and just put some warm water, actually hot water in the cup. Let it sit about 15 minutes. Then what you're going to do is take a nose dropper, take a couple of those drops, and use it as nose. You'll get up, jump off. You'll jump in a second, and you'll
what?
cough out
I'm sorry,
all that infection.
What do you put in the water?
You just put a couple of cloves of garlic in a cup of hot water.
Cloves of garlic.
Let it sit about 15 minutes. You cut them first, crush them up. Then you're going to use that as nose drops. And what it does, it cleans the infection out of your system. The second you do it, it'll tingle a little bit. You can dilute the water a little if it's too strong. But what it does, it tends to clean the infection out of your sinus.
Well, hold on a second, Steve, because I want to tell you a little bit more about that. Robert, we've got Robert on the phone, too. I forgot. Robert, I didn't know you were hanging there on the phone. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Sandy. This is good-looking Robert speaking.
Hi, how you doing?
Good.
I'm doing fantastic.
Well, we got Steve on the phone. We got Steve on the phone, too. And Robert, I just wanted to talk about what Steve was saying about the garlic. Also, I had read, I found out this little tidbit, and it's not real easy to do, but when you have a cold really bad, you can actually, this reminded me of it, the garlic that you're talking about using as a nose dropper, because you can cut a clove of garlic into quarters, and you can put a piece in your nostrils, in each nostril, but it does burn a little bit. But you put that in there, and you leave it
gently,
and you leave it in your and you leave it in your nose, but it will help drain. It will drain everything out.
Well,
but that's a little harder. Sorry, Michael. But sounds like the putting the cloves of garlic in the water.
Yeah, the nose drops
might be a little easier.
It's not brutal, Sandy. The other way is kind of powerful.
My grandfather had a recipe like that. He says you get yourself a quart of Italian olive oil, and you get 20 cloves of garlic. Let it sit and shove it up your, and let it sit there for about a week. For Fazul, he says, and it'll really blow you right up. I said, way to go, Pop.
Anyway, so thank you so much, Steve, for sharing that with us.
Hey, it's great talking to you guys. I'll stop up the station, see you one day, okay?
Sounds good. Pal. Have a great day, Steve.
Yeah, have a great one.
Good.
Bye-bye.
Hey, Robert, so what's going on with you, Robert?
Everything that's always good that's going on for me. When you talked about astrology and psychology, I also took that in my younger years in school, and it really opened up my whole world.
Well, a lot of times people think of astrology as frou-frou. And the thing of it is the lady that I studied with is Tonda Tajan, and she's out in Los Angeles. And she was a Jungian psychologist, so she also got her MFCC in psychology. So she's also, a heavy-duty psychologist. But she started out studying astrology when she was 19 years old, and then continued that study, and then became later on a psychologist. And it was very interesting because astrology is not just what they've put in the newspaper, where they say, oh, if you're an Aries, don't go out today, what it does is it's patterns in cycles in the planets and how it affects us in our lives, and it's not to be taken lightly, and it's not nothing's written in stone either. It's more like these are general tendencies that can happen. It's just like when we have a full moon and it affects the waves, and they had the cycles of the moon in the almanac, and they've done gardening and growing foods and planting and stuff by the moon cycles for eons of years and everything. But hold on just a second. Okay, Robert, we're going to be right back after a message from our sponsors. If you're just tuning in now, you're listening to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show with Chef Michael.
All right.
This is Sandy Kastel and Friends. Here again, your host, Sandy Kastel.
Hi, and welcome back to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show with Chef Michael. Robert, hey, that was you there giving that shout out to us.
You know something, you guys, ever since I listened to KLAV, you guys have made me feel like a star. Sandy, I got to tell you a positive story. I went into Silver Sevens the other day to have a little breakfast, and, you know, of course, they all know me in there. So everybody says, Robert, you look so cheerful and happy, which most of the time of my life I've always been making a habit of doing it. They said, why are you so happy? I said, well, I was invited by some VIPs to go on KLAV talk show, and which is something I never got to do in my life. And I feel like I was a movie star on that show. And you know what? It had made me feel so good. And so I left you a message on your answering machine to tell you that I spread the word. And they said, well, what station? What radio station is it? And I said it's 12:30 a.m. KLAV from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. in the morning.
Thank you so much.
Something. I also wanted to tell you too. I'm going to be meeting with Jeff Scott, the bodyguard for the senior people, over at the Palace Station on the 24th between 11 to 2.
Okay.
And you know what? Ever since I just can't say enough about you guys. I mean, Chef Michaels is a handsome man. I don't think he'll ever lose his
okay, come on now, Robert. You know, don't get carried away now.
Well, you know me, Sandy, when I get excited like him, I get a little bit overboard, which is a natural thing because I'm a natural Leo with Aquarius rising,
well,
you know?
Thank you so much,
and when I always talk, you know, I want to be honest, you know, I don't like to hold things back. I talk right from the heart.
I know you do. You know who else we've got on the phone with us is Dr. Perry.
Oh, my goodness. Hello. How is it?
Hi, Dr. Perry. How are you?
Doc. What's up, buddy?
I'm good.
Good. What's going on?
I was just sitting here listening to you.
Yeah.
And you can't go to the Bear Restaurant.
Why?
Because you got another appointment today.
That's right, we do. I know. At noon, we have a big luncheon with...
Bear Restaurant's great, though.
Yeah, it is. But we'll have to go another day. Yeah, it's good for going on the weekends. I like going on the weekends to the Bear Restaurant.
Where are you going tonight, Doc?
Today.
Where are you going tonight?
Oh, tonight? I don't know.
That's great. Well, there's Diana where she's going tonight. She's always got something planned.
I know. If you guys aren't doing anything, we should.
Last night I was just.
Well, I know. Chef Michael's a little under the weather.
You can hear it in my voice.
Yeah.
I don't know how the hell it happened, and I very, very seldom get under the weather. You know, but I'd rather have a fever than a cold because then your nose is running, and then all that. Here, I feel great. That's out of my voice.
He had a fever last night.
Yeah, 102. And I woke up this morning. I'm all right. But one thing about me, Doc, always since I was a kid, I get well real fast. I get well real fast. I never forgot the time I was fishing and my arm got bit off by a great white shark. I just grabbed it, put it back
and
on.
You squeezed.
I squeezed his head I just sewed it back on.
Yeah.
And I feel great. My shoulder hurts a little bit from it, but outside of it.
One of his claws?
No, his tooth.
Oh, his tooth.
So I hear you have some big packages that you're going to be on. You need some help with.
No, I moved them all last night.
What? Well, what about the Cinderella, the table and all that? Putting
Bombay. I didn't move that.
No. You're going to need some help. Don't you dare try to do that. Like my dad tried to lift that TV with.
Yeah, don't do that, Doc.
Chef Michael, remember, and he dropped it on his foot. So we'll have to get you some guys out there to help you move that.
I move things a little differently, so.
Yeah.
All right, big Doc.
Yeah, maybe Alex Yanko has a couple of kids that can come and help
Alex Yanko's the best. I think, are we cooking this Sunday?
I don't know. I'm not.
Yeah, tell me about it. I don't know, Doc. I'm kind of concerned. Maybe I get Alex Yanko and the gang, and maybe we should have a little dish of macaroni and a little bit of I haven't had raviolis in a while.
As long as I can go to dance class at 1:30 on Sunday.
Jesus God in heaven.
I got to get back into my dance routine, Dr. Perry. And I asked Diana, I want to get her over to the yoga studio. Tuesdays and Thursday nights, they have a regeneration class. And it's where they use props and stuff to help prop you into the poses. And so it's non-invasive. So I got to get her over there to do that. She said she's having a little swelling in her knees, though, right now. Or something, right?
Yeah, I don't know. There's too many excuses in the world. She just has to go do it.
Is that right?
Okay, Diana, I hope you're listening. She's sitting right there.
Well, have fun, Doc. Have fun at 12 o'clock while you guys are out there collecting big money. I'm over there busting my hump trying to make a few dollars.
What'd you think about the poem? Or what was it that you wrote, Dr. Perry?
Dr. Perry's poem. Do you remember your poem that I said yesterday? I want to say it again. He says,
I didn't even realize I was such a good poet.
Well, you were. Dr. Perry said, I'm rough and I'm tough and I don't take no stuff. So take off your shoes and smell your feet. I'm Dr. Perry from Fremont Street. So it was a wonderful.
Incredible.
Sounds like a boxer to me.
Yeah, I'll have to think up some better ones.
You're better there, Doc, because we love you, pal.
Well, listen, I'm excited about seeing you guys at lunch over at Sealy. I think that's where we're having lunch with the guys and the girls. Yeah, it's over at the Bally High Golf Course over on the Strip, right?
Right.
Yeah, you might be able to. Well, you can't pop over. Okay. Well, we won't be seeing Michael.
No, I got money to make, sister.
He's got to go to work and make a living.
That's right.
Oh.
Yeah, to buy all those dinners.
That's right. What else is new? Shut your phone off, Doc.
All right, I'll see you guys at lunch, okay?
Telemarketers calling all morning.
Get him, baby. Get him.
Have a great day.
Thanks, Doc. Thanks for calling.
Okay, bye.
We like to thank Steve. We like to
thank you, Robert, for calling in.
You're welcome, Sandy.
It's always good to hear from you,
Right.
and thank you, Steve, for calling in. You guys have a great day, and if you're just tuning in now, you're listening to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show with Chef Michael, who's a little bit under the weather. Don't be walking off yet, Michael. Wait until the very end. Anyway, say goodbye to the family out there.
Yeah, your sister's kazoo.
We'll see you again Monday morning, and
thank God.
Check us out on Keen TV, KNGN. And the Walk TV this weekend will be on 5 times Saturday and Sunday. Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show with Chef Michael and lots of great people. All right, have a great weekend. Bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.